Museum of Historical Vehicles. Gonna go inside and see what that's like. I hear it's a very good museum. So let's get going inside. All right, here we are in the museum. I'm not going to go over all the exhibits. There's just so many of them, and I'm no expert on antiques, automobiles. But it starts off with these military vehicles, including a mobile shoe, textile, and canvas repair unit. And a bunch of Jeeps, a Bantam Jeep, reconnaissance car, and then you have your Ford GPW quarter-ton truck Jeep. And this is probably a Jeep most people are familiar with when they watch World War II movies. They got a little gift shop in here. I'm going to stop in there later. And I'll start walking you through. And it starts with a sign saying, you know, respect all the vehicles that are in here, which you should do anyway. And they got a bicycle shop and a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of bicycles, a bunch of motorcycles, some from the Reading Standard Company. And over here they got an Ace with the sidecar. And like I said, I'm not going to go into all the details. 1870 fire pumper. And over here they got a bunch of horse and buggy carriages, and up there they got a bunch of sleds, and they got all the info on them. Quite a bit. There's actually quite a bit to see here. Here, this is what I like. It's this 1870 coal delivery wagon, and I gotta just imagine being the guy over here cranking this handle to make that coal dump. So that must have been something. Here's a vehicle I found really special. Is this James F. Hill car, and it's amazing. This is the guy just wanted to make himself a horseless carriage, and I guess he made this. Let me see if it says when he made it. Somewhere on there, it's around here. That became one of the first vehicles to be registered, I guess, in Pennsylvania as a horseless carriage. And he has a patent on it. Go over here, we got a bunch of more vehicles, old early vehicles. They got all the information, so you can make it out here if you're interested. Make it out here and see them all. Like I said, I'm not going to read every detail on them. I'd end up spending hours in here doing that. But I'll go point out some of the more unique vehicles. Like I said, more early vehicles. 1907, 1908, 1906. Yeah, these are probably some of the first vehicles on the road ever. And they got this unique three-wheeler. Bunch of other cars that I'd never heard of. 1907 dragging touring car, and a bunch of other cars over here. Early horseless carriages, I guess you would call them. Here's a 1915 Pullman Speedster. This is nice. Oh, and they got this nice display of items over here, including one of those horns like they had there at the Swigert Museum. I love that horn, style of horn. I'd like to mount that on something. There's a real nice collection here, you have to say that. 1918 Biddle Roadster. I can't say I ever heard of Biddle. A lot of vehicles in here I never heard of. We'll just follow around. Here's another one of Daniels. These were one-off vehicles, handmade vehicles. Another Daniel Stormday. And a 1920 Packard. I think it's the oldest Packard that I can remember seeing. I think I've seen older ones on the internet, and I can't remember if this is the oldest Packard that I've ever seen in person. No, this one here is 1920. I'm a big Packard fan, so 28 LaSalle convertible. That's really nice. Ford Victoria. They keep their vehicles really nice here, that's for sure. And this little Hanover Roadster, 1921. Hopefully you guys can pause and read this info. I hope so. And they got some really nice Chrysler touring cars. This one's unique. 6-town sedan. Let me get a better picture here. Yeah, those are unique, especially this one because it has the open area for the chauffeur. I never understood that, having the open area for the chauffeur. What was the purpose of that? And instead of having a closed area for the passengers, but for the chauffeur, I don't know. Maybe they just like to see him drive out in the rain or something. I don't know. But anyway, this one here is really nice. This 48 Chrysler town car has the wood sides on it. It's all real wood, as I would imagine it is. I'm sure it looks it. And this is one of my favorites here. Is this little 1940 American Bantam Roadster. Look at this tiny little thing. This thing is so tiny, it's unbelievable. If I were to lay on the ground next to it, I think I might be as long as the wheelbase. You know, I'm like 5'6". And they got a bunch of electric trucks in here too. Look at this behemoth right here. I don't know if you can see this. This pole is kind of blocking it, but the thing is gigantic. So are the batteries in it. Look at those batteries. A bunch of they have some really nice trucks too. There's one from a Walker electric truck, which is really interesting. It was used by Thomas Edison to move rail cars, apparently. That's another giant truck. You can see, look at the giant batteries down here, a giant electric motor in the rear. And hopefully you guys can pick this up because the light's kind of low here, but there's it for attaching to the railroad cars. See, follow these arrows around. Look at this 1914 Model T Roadster. That's pretty unique. Pops on the back. More Ford trucks. Another electric vehicle used by the U.S. Department of Energy. This is actually from like the 70s, I believe. Let's see, yeah. 76, 79 actually. Wow. A bunch of more trucks over here and some engines on display. Let's go take a look at that. A bunch of emblems and so forth over here. And a bunch of engines on display. What I get a kick out of this V12. This is from a Lincoln Zephyr. And it's cylinders are real tiny on it, like here, 3. You can see my hands aren't that big, and how tiny the cylinders are. Couldn't get my fist in there, let's put it that way. That's how tiny they are. This V12, here's a giant. They don't have a placard on this, but this is not a Ford flathead V8. This might be a Cadillac. I'm not sure. If anyone knows, leave a comment in the section below. And of course I got a bunch of other motors on display.
Disappeared as other gas companies took over.
This old Ford U.S. mail truck. No airs AC in those or any of these old vehicles, as far as I know. And this truck I really like. Stretched out truck here. 37 International. Yeah, just say I really like that. And I think I'll go and have a Carriage House. I'll go to that last. They have this really giant trolley. Now you would think this is old, but it's actually from 1976, which is old, I guess, these days. But it was made for to celebrate the bicentennial back then. Fairmont Park, I guess, in Philadelphia. And this here is a Han, 1927 Han Model O 2-ton delivery. So, Sun Oil Company gas station here set up. 1928 Chevrolet delivery truck here. And these over here are really unique. This is a 1952 Masano. This is a homemade car. They built it on a Henry J chassis. And it's made out of fiberglass. They made a mold and made a one-off body, and it's they did a really good quality job. You would think that it's manufactured the way it's done. If you look at it, it's very well done. And next to it, it's probably one of my favorite automobiles here, is this Packard 53 Packard Patrician Limousine. And this is very, shall I say, luxurious. Hopefully I can get a good view inside here. I don't think they want me opening up the doors, but it's definitely really nice inside. So hopefully you can see that. Then they got this diner here, which is really nice, old diner. I wish it was open for business, because looking at it inside, the fake food that's in here is making me hungry. But still can find diners like this to eat in. They're a lot bigger, but they're out there. Here's a 1926 Mack 3.5-ton flatbed truck. This thing is gigantic. Maybe I'll make it down to the Mack Museum one day. Yeah, they have a Mack Museum somewhere around here. Or somewhere in Pennsylvania, I believe it is. Some more trucks. Ford, steak body. Another Han. I still never heard of a Han vehicle until today. First, here you have this old Chevrolet from World War II, what they call Blackout Vehicle. And it had no chrome or anything like that. This way it wouldn't stand out during an air raid and all that. Here, let me get a close up of that sign. Let's go up to the Carriage House. What's nice about this Carriage House is they have an elevator if you need to use it. You can't use the stairs. And Jeremiah Swinehart Carriage Works. They have this old rope elevator in here. And they got the old flat belt system. Hopefully you guys can see all that. And all this would have been driven either by steam or a water wheel, or some type of power that they had back then. And all the belts would be driven off a common shaft. And then whenever you wanted to go use that particular item, like say you wanted to use this surface grinder, you would pull that lever that would engage the belt, and it would spin around and do its thing. Same with those drill presses in the back and the saw that's down there. Had to be something back then. And they definitely have a lot of old stuff in here. An old sled. This is unique. This must have been something. More horse and buggies. More sleighs. Yeah, here we go. U.S. meal. Look at that. Now that's old. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. 1890. Wow, this is really going back, this stuff. I'm glad I took this ride down, and it's definitely worth it. It was actually raining out, downpouring where I live when I left. And then it got nice down here. It looks like it's cloudy, getting cloudy, so it might rain again some more. It's supposed to be downpour tomorrow, but I guess we'll find out. All right, that's it for this museum. Like I said, I hope I got the light good in here, and definitely worth the trip. Another museum. It's not like gigantic museum, but it's definitely worth the trip. Quality over quantity, I guess you would say. So if you ever get a chance, come out here and visit it. I'm glad I did. Or if you're passing through the area. Talk about the area. This pond that I showed you earlier, a 2-ton delivery truck. Mount Carmel, that's not far from where I live. So, probably used a little coal. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, because that's big. Yeah, still is a big thing in Mount Carmel area. Not as big as it used to be, but definitely. Anyway, I'm glad I came down here. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching if you saw it. And everybody have a great day, and God bless.